So this is the Aquarius full moon outlook for August 11th, 2022. And what a full moon this is going to be. We've got Leo sun at 19 degrees. And Leo is about affection. Leo is magnanimous, very giving. Leo is a little bit of a show off. It's about drama, the theater. Leo is connected with the fifth house, and the fifth house is connected with pregnancies, children, or children's issues. The fifth house is connected with speculative ventures and gambling. Also, the fifth house is extremely creative, as is Leo. Leo is a fire sign and very fixed. A fixed sign is not generally apt to move from their beliefs or their stance. Now, we've got the moon at 19 degrees of Aquarius. And in this case, it conjoins Saturn retrograde, also in Aquarius at 22 degrees. And Aquarius is also a fixed sign. Aquarius is an air sign. Aquarius is about objectives, ideals. It rules the 11th house. It's about our hopes, our dreams, and humanity in a detached style. And Aquarius is about the future, technology. Now, with this full moon, especially conjoining retrograde Saturn, there may be a certain issue or issues connected with our ideals or objectives that will be very much in the forefront right now. And adding to that, we've got the full moon conjoining retrograde Saturn. And anytime you have a retrograde planet, sometimes the planet does not act at its best. And with Saturn already is connected with delays and frustrations. Saturn is very conservative. Saturn likes to put the brakes on things. And Saturn, however, is an Aquarius, so Saturn is very fine in the sign of Aquarius. But nonetheless, it is retrograde, and with the full moon in Aquarius, that is connected with the public, it is connected with rebellion, the unexpected, and somewhat of that is unique and eccentric, a little bit different, with the opposition to the more personalized sun sign of Leo, and about our feelings of affection. And Aquarius is about expression of our feelings. So when you've got this opposition going on here with this full moon, of course, with Saturn in the idealistic and sign of our friendships, friendliness, humanity, we may feel at the time just before, as it approaches the full moon, or just after the full moon around August 11th, there will be objectives or a certain objective that we may be called upon to enforce or oppose. And adding to this, we've got, yes, we don't have just a T square right now, folks. We've got the full moon with retrograde Saturn with the North Node in Taurus with Uranus in Taurus. Now, Uranus is also the depositor of both the full moon and Saturn, and that then is connected with the South Node in Scorpio, and then finally the Sun in Leo. That's a full grand cross or grand square. And with a T square, which say would involve three signs, say, for example, the South Node in Scorpio, North Node in Taurus, with the Moon and Saturn, say, in Aquarius, that would provide for some tension. And there is a need to release the tension. But here, you've got a full grand cross, and that involves all four of the fixed signs of Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. What does this mean? Well, we've got the full moon with Saturn retrograde. So as it is, Saturn is already connected with delays and frustrations, but Saturn is about karma, and Saturn will reward us for hard work, dedication, and foresight. Especially in Aquarius, the lessons will be connected with our friendliness, our ideals, our humanity. And when you have this tied in with the full Grand Cross, especially with Uranus in Taurus and with the North Node in Taurus, we may feel that the tension is building up. Building because of why? Well, let's look at the full moon. The tension is building because somehow we are fighting for some kind of ideal connected with what? Humanity and justice. For some reason, there may be an incident or incidents that could involve a misfortune of justice. And we will be enormously rebellious, almost revolutionary at this time. There's going to be probable group conflicts, yes, upheavals, yes, possible violence, because you see, we have this grand cross and we have this strong need to release this tension. And the tension, if it's not released, especially with fixed signs, yes, may become explosive. But we are fighting for some kind of justice, for humanity, for something that we feel has been taking quite a bit of time and has created some kind of uh, injustice or hardship, because we've got Saturn here in Aquarius. And Aquarius is connected with the public eye, the collective groups. And that's just not publicly, but because we are talking about Aquarius here, we are also talking about the internet. So the conflicts could spill over connected with the internet technology. And what else on a grand scale does Aquarius connect with? But space, the future. So we may feel that if we don't take care of some kind of social norm, so to speak, right now, Aquarius, that our future doesn't look too good, to be honest. So, yes, on or around before or just after the full moon, do expect a lot in the way of conflict that deals with Aquarius and Leo. And somehow we may feel connected with Leo that there is a bit of a concern connected with love and affection and how we love or love to the world also on a grand scale, but tension is building up. And so the strongest energy of this tension will be building from very likely just before the 11th of August until the from the full moon to the following new moon. So hopefully by the time we get to the Virgo new moon, which will be after this Aquarius full moon, we will have learned certain lessons about treatment of others. Yes, this can include animals, our earth, and speaking of which, what does I have always said Taurus connect with? Our physical earth. Yes, it is a sensible sun sign, down to earth, very practical, connected with business, finance. And yes, there may be some difficulties because Taurus falls within this grand cross connected with business, finance, money, and technology and the upheaval. Yes, there could be some concerns connected with banking, real estate, and so on, our economy. Uh, and we've got Mars just past that connection with the North Node and unexpected, unpredictable Uranus. But Mars is still in Taurus. So a lot with bullying, aggressive, the need to get our way, and so on. So the other end of the coin is yes, we could see some issues with money, investments, real estate. And the second house, which Taurus is connected with, is food. Maybe something connected with not just food, the culinary, but restaurants or just food in general. So all of this is falling into this grand T square, fixed T square. And yes, there will be these concerns as such. And anything with Uranus, expect the unexpected. And if you're going out, it's safe to say around this time, there's power in numbers. Stay close to those. Go out with people if you can. Uh, if you see or you are involved with a group conflict or even one-on-one conflict with anybody, try to do what you can to quelch that fight or difficulty, if you will. Uh, because, yes, it is about free choice, free will. Yes, there is a fixed T square at this time. Yes, there could be violence. Yes, there's going to be chaos. But do what you can to create what? Peace. Because Leo and Aquarius, although they are opposing signs, in their higher sense, they are about humanity and peace and coming together to connect, not as things could be with a disconnect. Leo is about love and affection and being giving and heartfelt. So do just that. Where you see strife, be giving. Be heartfelt, be kind and understanding. Remember, we still have Neptune in Pisces, and that is pretty much at its best, even with Neptune retrograde. And speaking of which, we have Neptune at 24 degrees Pisces. Now, Pisces is connected with water. It is connected with oceans. And in its retrograde stage, as of these outer planets right now, Neptune will be connected with lots of water, as in this is still hurricane season, and on or around this full moon, there could be concerns with hurricanes or natural disasters, weather related concerns, if you will. Also, because Neptune is connected with water and it is retrograde now, and planets aren't always at their best in retrograde. However, they do teach us lessons, especially connected with Saturn in Aquarius. And we may find either there is an overabundance of water, so there could be, yes, thoughts of storms, hurricanes, tornadoes right now. Yes, tsunamis or problems with water. Neptune is also connected with oil. Could there be oil spills? Possibly. Or perhaps there is a need to, in the positive sense, clean up our water, or a lack of water that we need to figure out a solution to help with our water supply. And Neptune is also connected, because it is connected with the 12th house of minerals. And there may be a lack, or the price of gold, silver, minerals, so on may increase, or there may be a lack of, or a problem with. So these are all the issues with Neptune in its retrograde phase. Now, what else does Neptune connect with? It is about secrets. It is about the known, the unknown, the seen, and the unseen. So there could be some interesting finds now. We're talking retrograde, maybe some historical precious find that is historic. Uh, and this is going to be very prominent because that is also connected with Neptune in the 12th house. Secrets from the long ago past being revealed, coming to light, or mysteries that we will still have to figure out, all under Neptune's guise. And we've got Jupiter now retrograde in Aries. And what is Jupiter in Aries? Jupiter likes to be in Aries because Jupiter connects with Sagittarius, which is a fellow fire sign. Nonetheless, Jupiter retrograde is about going within, where in its direct stage, uh, Jupiter is about the desire for the material, prosperity. Aries is a go getter, it is encouraging of starting your own business, self starting anything. It is the pioneer, uh, enthusiastic Jupiter, Aries. But when Jupiter in Aries goes retrograde, and Jupiter in any sign for that matter, it is about going within. And sometimes instead of trying to accomplish our goals or wealth or prosperity outwardly, we will now look to what is important to us. What is the meaning of life? Is prosperity material or is it spiritual? So, right now, for the next couple months, our search is going to be inward. So you may find right now a lot of gurus will come to the spotlight, or people that are very wise communicators about life, about prosperity, about money. And as a result, we may become very sage and wise. And Jupiter, similar to Saturn, is a teacher. It's connected with the ninth house, the wise philosopher. However, Jupiter is also connected with education or university. So there may be discussions now connected with colleges, universities, education, if you will. But certainly we will look to the wiser ideals right now. There's that word again, kind of connected with Aquarius, but also connected with Jupiter retrograde in Aries. And what is about being number one, Aries, or being a self starter? What is important to us as our objectives? All Jupiter in Aries. Uh, Now, we do have a sweet sextile between Mars at 25 degrees of Taurus and Neptune, yes, retrograde at 24 degrees. So that will give us some kind of sensibility about Mars of action and that which is about compassion. So it's kind of a light in all this T square going on, uh, and especially since Mars, very not real tight in orb, but yes, uh, in a very light way, is connected and tied into this grand cross. So Mars is about our action and how we express our action and our aggression and how we assert ourselves. And with the sextile to Neptune, which is about compassion and sensitivity, uh, that's good. This is, as aforementioned, a light during this very chaotic time. And the message here is, as aforementioned, to be compassionate, loving, and kind. And Mars is about aggression. So, on one hand, it falls into this grand cross, but on the other hand, it has a nice sextile with Neptune. So, that's the message is yes, if we apply our compassion, kindness, foresight, then we will see greater results than fighting or violence. Uh, Even using the word well, let's just say, for YouTube's sake, uh, we will try to be more feisty right now, but for the sake of peace, look to Mars and Neptune and take the higher road. So we've got Venus, the planet of love and affection, now getting into Leo. So this only emphasizes, even though they cannot in any way make a conjunction by aspect right now, the sun is in Leo at 19 degrees, Venus is at 0 degrees. It does lend for a nice connection of wanting to really kind of, Leo, show off our love, show the world our individual style. And fifth house interests will be of the forefront right now, as aforementioned. Children, creativity. This is a very creative time, even with this Grand Cross, because we're talking Leo and Aquarius. This is a time to express your individual style, especially if you've got Leo or Aquarius on the ascendant right now. You may be involved with some kind of conflict, yes, but at the same time, you're going to be sought after for your individuality, your kindness, your creativity, and this is all very good. And always keep in mind, no matter where you have any of these planets, and no matter where the Grand Cross falls in your personal birth chart, especially with the fixed signs, and especially involving Saturn, there's something to be learned from this upheaval and rebellion. And Saturn says there's going to be karma involved. So maybe we are fighting for something connected with the future and connected with our children and their future, and teaching them about love and affection and acceptance, accepting yourself. That's also what this is going to be about. uh all aspects of love in the highest, especially with Neptune still in Pisces. Now we do have uh we've got Mercury at its best, most elevated in Virgo. So Virgo likes to disseminate. A Virgo Mercury doesn't always accept what is before them. They like to kind of pick at the parts, the good and bad, and very discriminating. Uh, Mercury in Virgo. So, although there is conflict in the air, and yet there's this desire to be highly individualistic and really put our opinions out there, and he said, she said, this is what I think, this is what you think, and there may be some heated disagreements. Virgo is saying, well, now wait a second, let me just check everything out. Let's see what kind of a cause or causes we're fighting for. Let's see if we can fix this in a very orderly and organized fashion. Virgo is an anchor here, but the good here is Mercury at 12 degrees of Virgo, and it is making a very wide trine, very wide, especially 6 degrees to Uranus and 5 degrees to the North Node, and of course a wide sextile to the South Node in Scorpio. So that is a bit of a light here as well. And the one thing about Taurus and Virgo, of course, is their earth signs. And it's almost like there is the person here that is saying, okay, we've got conflict, we've got some chaos, we've got rebellion, a lot of opinions going around. Yeah, we're kind of trying to figure out the meaning of life here with Jupiter retrograde. Yeah, we need to apply a little bit of compassion with Neptune in Pisces. But Virgo is going with the Taurus stellium here. We need to find a solution. And that's good because in all the stress of the chart for the full moon, there's always going to be the positive here. So, yes, there's the compassion. Virgo agrees with that. Yes, there's the sensibility. Virgo, Mercury really agrees with that. So, the gatekeeper here is going to say, we need to find a solution. And so, this is going to be broadcast amongst the chaos. The gatekeeper is saying, what can we do to be very practical and sensible to find solutions? And yes, Mercury will, not at the time of the full moon, but within about 10 days, will then apply a opposition to Neptune. So then there could be some deception, some lies. To be honest, we may be questioning about people in our personal lives, but of course, that doesn't come until the end of August when this Neptune Virgo opposition will come to the forefront. But Mercury is moving in that direction. So that is for another report. Nonetheless, we may feel during this time of rebellion that maybe we are not told the facts about everything. And we're going to start to move further in that direction, as I said, into late August and, of course, then into September. Uh, but for now, Mercury is the sensible someone that, along with this Taurus stellium, says we need to find a solution. So that's kind of the picture what's going on. There's this chaos and yeah, lack of completion and frustration, and we need to find a solution. And there's this delay. This has been going on too long in Saturn. Yet, if we take the low road, there may be retributions for the future because we're talking karmic Saturn here. So, we're having to watch, you know, or walk a difficult tightrope here about what we are fighting for. And then, of course, we've got Pluto at 26 degrees. And yes, as the outer planets are right now, retrograde as well. But the beauty of this is that Pluto is in an earth sign as well. And that makes a sweet trine with Mars at 25 degrees of Taurus. But Pluto is retrograde. But Pluto does, in an odd way, kind of fall into this scene of feistiness, if you will, because Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius with the full moon. And Pluto is in Capricorn. And the ruler of Capricorn is Saturn. So that leads me to believe that the rebellion will be connected with the powers that be and connected with delays and the past issues because of these retrograde planets, information that will be coming up from the past that we have not closed the book on. And Pluto is powers that be, it is government, it is about structure. And with this Grand Cross, there may be a breakdown of structure connected with government, connected with, well, what else does Capricorn connect with? Business, finance, and that's also connected with Taurus. They have that in common. They're very business oriented. They deal with the earth, real estate. So there could be a breakdown of the real estate market or investments and so on and so forth. But we also have a beautiful and blessed trine with Mars, and Mercury is applying a trine with Pluto. So where there is the yin, there is the yang. So in this time of upheaval and revolution and change, we do have a very practical Earth trine. Well, certainly not quite a grand trine right now because Mercury is only at 12 degrees versus 26 and 25 degrees with Mars and Pluto. Nonetheless, it does guarantee that we will call for a solution, a practical and sensible solution to that which is involved with the ups and the downs and the topsy-turvy right now. But we, because of Uranus with the North Node in Taurus, will still have this need to express ourselves and our individuality in a unique style about our opinions. But Pluto is saying in Capricorn and saying with the Taurus stellium, if we look to something that is greater than ourselves and we try to negotiate and take the high road, then we will find a solution, practical solution to all these ups and downs. So, to surmise here, yes, this is going to be a rough and tumble full moon. But as always, there is the good. The good is about compassion. It is about understanding, even with information that is revealed, even with a lot of opinions going on about there, and people, even in our personal life, not just publicly, want to express what we feel. So do keep in mind, it is not just a public thing. This Grand Cross will also affect us personally. And personally, we must find the compassion. We must find the connection to what we have in common, not disconnect, but connect, because there is this sense of disconnect right now. And in our personal lives, we have to find what that connection is. And take a hint from Jupiter now retrograde. Instead of going outward, we have to go inward and find what is the true meaning of our objectives, our ideals, and what really is about prosperity and wealth from within. And take a hint from the Leo. It's about love and affection, and what is the meaning of love and affection. So as you can see, folks, the true meaning of this chart is about taking the high road and not taking the low road. And if we can do that, then we will overcome any negativity right now connected with this Aquarius full moon.